This installation is called Dialogical Playground. It was part of my exhibit in Leipzig, Germany. It's a dialogue of the opposites. In Mexico, from ancestral times, no, for the indigenous cultures, Quetzalcoatl is a sort of yin-yang figure, no? Is the connection between one and another. Con cuidadito, Miguel Ángel, que no me salga la panza, por favor. Immigrating into Canada has been very good for me in several ways.
I think that Josema's practice and the way he have maybe changed or being shaped by his Canadian experience, if you wish, has to do with, for sure, his academic training here in Canada. As you probably know, he has gone through university here, and he has a couple of degrees in the humanities, literature, philosophy. So I think that has been key to his, his development as an intellectual and as an artist. Definitely, arriving to Vancouver and to Canada changed pretty much everything for me. The work that I do is not about a particular theme or is not about a particular medium. I've been transforming myself, I think, quite a lot through my whole existence as an artist. The kind of work that I do with images, photographic images sometimes, video sometimes, it's about questioning that reality, that images present to us in modern times. I think it has been very powerful for me, the energy of this place as the natural landscape that is almost like sacred, or it is sacred, and also the connection with the indigenous peoples here, that they are like the stewards of this amazing land, and land here means the ocean as well. So this series is not about taking the picture, but about creating an image with lots of space and time that becomes the print here.
When Josema came, for me, that was the beginning of a turning point and the emergence of a much more active and growing Hispanic Latino culture here. I think as his work has progressed, he's developed himself through and with more Latin American artists around him, an increasing awareness of art in Latin America, as well as at the intersection between Latin America and North America, right, and Canada especially.
I had the fortune of connecting with a number of people. They are so important in my life to form the ACA collective, which was a big bunch of Latin American people, actually. It was 17 of us. A couple of them from other places, but most of us, we were from Latin America.
ACA, the very beginning, the very initial question, again, those questions of what it means to be a Latino artist, a Latin American artist here. And one question was, okay, so what is our place here? What do we do here, right? So it was a very powerful question that we all shared, right? So coming together and exploring that question together was a very beautiful moment, very enriching. There was such a rich range of experiences and ways of seeing, thinking about art, that for him being in the midst of that creative process, I think it really pushed his ideas and practice and pushed him and enriched him in ways that it would have been possible any other ways.
So when two Latin Americans/Canadians come together, it's really the coming of two brothers and joining forces. There's a commonality, there's a sense of like knowing someone from way before you've met them, an instant friendship that sort of like strikes.
The possibilities of getting support from the artistic agencies for helping artists, such as the BC Arts Council or the Canada Arts Council, has been great as well, because it's a way of having the chance to leave aside a time for working in a particular project with some funding that will allow you to explore something that you wouldn't be able to do if you are just like trying to survive working all the time, Having a very insignificant impact on Canadian world, I mean, I'm nobody, but definitely it's a constant dialogue, I mean, I have a dialogue with the people here and with the public here, and they have a dialogue with me as well and with my artwork, and that really I think that makes for a conversation,
So I would say about his art that there are many different kinds, many dimensions to it. So one kind is what he does with his photographs, which is remarkable and really very advanced, I would say. And then he does work like the work in his book. I hope you comment on the book, which is very minimalist, I would say, very kind of stripped down and not very photographic. Josema comes from an engineering background. As far as I understand, he was at Tec de Monterrey. And that engineering quality, those qualities from engineering, come through in his book more than in his photography.
As part of the title here is Nawi Olin in the first part here, or the physics of desire, a philosophy naturalis. I don't know how to say that last part in Latin, but the Nawi Olin part is actually one of the many names of the goddess